Okay guys, today we're going to go through the foam roll routine, the mobility warm-up, and the dynamic warm-up. First we're going to start out with the foam roll. To my right we got Imani, to my left we got Chloe, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So, you can get started with your calves, girls, and I'm going to explain. So, a couple things we want to work for. We want to make sure that we do the full repetition of whatever limb that we're working on, and we want to make sure the toes are towards the shins at all time, all right? So the butt goes up, legs stay straight, and we roll from the bottom of our ankle to the bottom of our knee. We'll do about 10 to 15 reps depending on soreness, depending on how much time you have. I mean, really, it all depends on the client. So next we're going to move to the hamstring. Go ahead and slide your foam roll right. What we want to make sure with the hamstring is that in this case, the left leg is bent, the right leg stays straight, and we're going to roll from the top of our knee to the base of our butt. Again, make sure you lift up nice and tall, hips are up. We want to make sure that the toes are towards the shins and give it about 10 to 15 reps. So for this one, sometimes you'll have clients that say, I don't feel this, you know, they might not feel it in a specific area. They might be sore, not in the hamstring, right underneath the femur. So what we can do is that we can actually tilt the foot outwards or inwards in this case, depending on where they might feel it. So just kind of digging around, trying to make sure that we cover all of our bases. So next, we're going to do the glutes. We go ahead and sit on top of the foam roll. Take your right leg, bend it over your left. Take your left hand on your right knee. Right hand goes behind. We're going to roll from the base of our butt to the base of our back. So what's really important is that you get that lean to whatever side that the leg is up. And depending on your client's needs, you might want to decrease the angle. Yep. Or increase it depending on how sore they are. And we'll get 10 to 15 reps on each side. So go ahead and switch for me. Excellent, and then we'll move to our back. So with the back, you want to make sure you slide down, hands are behind your head, elbows towards the ceiling. So for this one, we're going to make sure that the hips are up and we're foam rolling from the top of our shoulders all the way to the base of our back. Some of the clients might not have the core stability to hold themselves up that far down. So what we can do is kind of inch our feet back or forwards to kind of make it a little bit easier for them. But again, make sure that the client's not rolling on their neck. That's never good. We want to make sure that they're going from the top of their shoulders down to the base of their butt. Again, we could kind of give ourselves a big hug, open some of the more lighter muscles in the back, some of the ones we might not get as often. Great. So next you can stay in that position. We're actually going to do hands behind the head again, and we're going to tilt to the right, okay? This is going to get our lat muscles. So with this, you can see this is a little bit more rigid. It hurts a little bit more because it's one that's not necessarily touched as often. So we want to make sure that we roll from our armpit all the way to the 12th or 13th rib of the rib cage. So something you might see often here is when they go to turn, they kind of kink their elbow because it hurts. You know, it physically does not feel good the first couple times. So you want to make sure that they really get that elbow pointed down towards the ground. Next, you can go ahead and flip over. So now that we did from the base all the way to the head, posteriorly, we're going to switch to the anterior side. So, starting with the quads. We will lay on the foam roll into the plank position. Again, toes towards the shins, legs straight. And we're going to roll from the top of our knee to our hips. Again, this is one where you might see that the core stability has a huge role to play in the foam rolling process. So what I tell some people, if you guys could just army crawl to and from, that'll kind of help with the core stability. Give them something to lean on, a little bit of a stable base. Excellent. If we want to roll straight into that IT band next, it's really easy to get to from here. Just go ahead and kink your left leg up to give you some support and kind of roll that hip towards the ground. Good. So the tendency here is for the toe to point out. You want to make sure that toe is still coming into the shin. Make sure that toe's tight into the shin. And again, this might be a very sensitive area for people who don't roll it often. Excellent. And then we're going to switch to the adductor. So if you could just go ahead and take that foam roll and put it to your left side. Hike that left leg up. You want to make sure that the leg is hiked up enough to make sure that it clears the hip. Okay, that's going to lock the hip in place, and we're going to roll from our knee to our hips. Okay, this one gets a little bit awkward. I find it's funny to tell a couple jokes that nobody usually laughs at, but I guess I'm not that funny. Sometimes people don't have this core stability or is a little bit awkward, so we tell them to roll from the middle out and then from the middle in. So we kind of break it up, separate it a little bit. And we'll do 10 to 15 reps on this side, and then if you guys could switch. Again, making sure that that toe's tucked into the shins. We're getting about 10 to 15 reps, depending on the client, is how far away we'll roll from the middle to the back. Okay, so that's our foam rolling warm up. Next, we'll head into the breathing.